Okay, so I'm going to be doing Mourning's End Part 1 in Old School RuneScape. So to start this, you teleport with Pest Control, and then you're going to go charter a ship in Port Sarim over to Port Tiras. You're going to go where you started the Roving Elves quest and talk to Aluna to start the quest, which is north of this camp. So I have two more quests to go before Song of the Elves. And I'm going to fight Fragment of Saren with a Kodai wand and Vertices top. The Kodai wand's 110 million. Luna's right over here. If Alunid and Isilwin aren't both here, you could switch worlds. Apparently they come back every like 5 minutes or so. Let's talk to Alunid. Just north of this camp, you pass through here, and I'm going to talk to Alunid. If she's not in this world, and Isilwin isn't, you could switch worlds. They appear every 5 minutes. So, to Alunid, I'm going to say option 1 and 1. Have you finished Consecrated Glariel's Tomb? Well done. It was a worthy deed. Indeed it was. Anyway, are you ready to be taken to Aranwin? So, I'm going to say option 1. Very well. Aranwin will be in Letya. I could take you there. So, start Mourning's End quest, option 1. Luna takes you to Letya. Luna hands you a tiny crystal seed. Here you go. If you ever need to get back to Letya, you can use this. Use it sparingly, as it is only a few uses. If you need, I can re-enchant it, but I'm not as talented as singer or originally made this one. Thanks a lot, Lunid. Now I better get going, or Isilwin will get worried. Ah, washed your bets. Glad to see you made it. Welcome to Letya, home of the Elfin Resistance. Thank you. It wasn't particularly easy to get here. It took some work to convince Isilwin I should be trusted. That is not surprising. He's not particularly fond of humans. But if you've earned his trust, it proves to me that I was right to take a chance on you. I'm glad you did. I hate the thought that I might still be blindly working for King Lathis and Lord Isleworth right now. Well, you're here now, and you still have a chance to right your previous wrongs. I hope so. There's a lot I still don't know though. Why are King Lathis and Lord Isleworth working together? Where does the plague fit in? I'm afraid that a lot is still unknown to us as well. However, I will explain what I can. Be aware that this is only a brief overview. You'll find some books around the village that explain more if you wish though. So, to Aranwin, you could say option 1 or 2. 1 if you want to hear the story, and 2 if you want to skip the backstory. So, I'm going to say 1. Okay, let's begin. Many years ago, all elves lived in harmony within the crystal city of Perfidinous, alongside our goddess Saren. So, I'll be unlocking Perfidinous in Song of the Elves quest. When the God Wars ended, Saren was lost to us. For the first time, we were alone. To lead us through these difficult times, Baxtorian Kadarn was named after the first king of the elves. Under Baxtorian, our kingdom expanded into the east. We prospered for a long time, but little did we know that an enemy walked among us. During that time, Lord Isleworth turned away Saren and pledged himself to Zamorak, the Dark Lord. A larger kingdom and our forces were further spread. Lord Isleworth took advantage of that. He claimed Perfidinous as his own. Baxtorian was trying to take it back from him, but Perfidinous was built to survive the God Wars. There was no way to retake it. In the last attempt to keep the city safe, Baxtorian and the clan elder sung the Song of Inversion, which reverted the entire city into a crystal seed. Ah, so that explains why the city looks just like an empty field. Indeed, after that, Baxtorian returned to the east, but found that the rest of the kingdom had fallen while he was away. Not only that, but his wife Glariel had been taken. I know this bit. Baxtorian retreated into his home beneath the waterfall and never came out. I moved Glariel's remains into the waterfall so they could be together. That's good to hear. I can see why you managed to earn Isilwin's trust. So Saren has like a lava waterfall in RuneScape 3 in one of the quests. Anyway, with Baxtorian gone and Perfidinous lost, our land erupted into a lava waterfall, by the way. Into a civil war. We've been fighting ever since. I see, it's good to have a bit more understanding. But where does King Lathis come into this? That is the bit we're not so sure on. We know little about this land to the east. From what we could tell, it seems that Lord Iorwerth has promised to support King Lathis in reclaiming some land his family once owned. But why? What's in it for Lord Iorwerth? That's what we want to find out. According to our spies, Lord Iorwerth has used the alliance with King Lathis as an opportunity to infiltrate West Ardoon. The city must contain something he needs. Infiltrate? How? Those that, as mourners are in fact elf service to Lord Iorwerth. We regularly see them crossing the Arundar mountain pass and into the east. Mourners are elves. That they are. We assume that the plague is a cover-up for them to enter the city unchallenged. We don't know why though. That's why we need you. You know the city and can freely travel there. You are the perfect person for this task. We need you to go to West Ardoon, infiltrate the mourners, and find out what they are to do in the city. So you want me to infiltrate the mourners. How am I supposed to achieve that? I don't have an exact plan for you. You know the city better than any of us, so our best place to make a plan for yourself. However, as I said before, there's been sightings of mourners crossing the Arundar mountain pass. I'm sure you could take advantage of that. Alright, I'll see what I can do. So, I'm gonna take a picture of this building. So let me go to non-full screen mode. It's hard to take screen caps now. For some reason, like, snipping tool goes like, there we go. It's saved. Back to full screen. I would do this with my gear, but I'm currently trying to sell my bow. Okay. So now, after talking with him and after talking with Arianwood and saying 1 or 2, you're gonna go to the Gnome Stronghold with the Wealth Ring and the Spirit Tree from the Grand Tree quest. So with the Spirit Tree, you're just gonna select Gnome Stronghold. You unlock that after Tree Gnome Village, and then starting Grand Tree, you could talk to this tree to unlock it. Alright, so I'm going to enter this. So after traveling here, you're going to enter the tree. Can't believe there's no gate anymore. And you're going to run to the northwest and talk to the waiter. Over here. You're going to trade with the waiter. And you're going to buy the third from the last. Pre-made Toad Crunch, third from the last. Buy one of those. Alright, perfect. Alright, so after you buy pre-made TD Crunch, you're going to teleport with the Necklace Passage to the outpost. Alright, so you're going to run northwest, fight bears, and then you're going to run southwest near the wolves and enter a gate. Alright, so you run northwest, you're going to fight a bear, take the bear fur, and then you're going to run to the southwest near a gate with wolves near it. Owned. Alright, so this is the building I'm entering. Near these wolves. I'm gonna fight this mourner here. And steal his clothing. Pwned. Alright, so you need the cloak, boots, trousers, gloves, top, and mask. And letter. Alright, so you loot everything from that guy. Read the letter. To make a certain this is certified that the bearer of this letter has passed all entry requirements for the death guard. Cool. So, after you take all the items from him, you're going to right click your Ring of Dueling, and you're going to select Ferox Enclave. Alright, so I think I could enter the free-for-all portal, get my health back, and we'll exit back, and all my stats are fixed. Okay, cool. Okay. So alright, so after you take all that dude stuff, you don't need to go to Ferox Enclave. Well, okay. So after you go into the free-for-all portal near the bank chest in the Ferox Enclave, you could use the teleport crystal to go back to Lecho. Because obviously your stats were messed up. So now we're back in Lecho. So I'm going to use the bucket on the well here to fill it with water. Okay. After you fill the bucket with water, you're going to run west to Oranwen and in the clothing store, and you're going to talk to him. Alright, so after you fill the bucket with water in the well, you're gonna go talk to Oranwen and say option 3. Hello, how can I help? So option 3, do you mend clothes? I do, but human clothes are hard to mend. They do not have the finesse of elven garments. I need you to repair some elven clothing as it goes. Let me take a look at it then. You show the seamstress the mourner trousers. There's something disturbingly familiar about the design of these trousers. They're made for an elf. But can you fix them? Of course I can, but I need 2 pieces of silk and some bear fur. Great, I have those here. It's almost like you knew what I needed. Indeed, the mourner's trousers, they look good as new. Thanks a lot. Anytime. Okay. So... Okay. So for Morrowind, you're going to trade. And you're going to buy 2 red dye, 2 yellow dye, 2 blue dye, and 2 green dye. I'll just buy 1 green dye. Alright, so from her you bought all these dyes. You bought 2 red. So right click Oranwen, you're gonna buy 2 red, 2 yellow, 2 blue, and I guess just 1 green. And you should be good. Alright, so Village to Falador. Alright, so now I'm gonna teleport to Falador and I'm gonna run northwest to go to Taverley, which doesn't have a teleport to it. Obviously Taverley, you have to be a member to go in here. Yeah, I have my OBS set up with like good enough volume for the game music. I'm pretty stoked to be doing Song of the Elves quest. I should have something in RS3 to go alongside it. I've been neglecting RS3. Alright, so west of Hot Air Balloon. Okay. So wherever the hot air balloon flies to. Okay. So in Taverley, you just run southwest from the gate and you're going to talk to Tegged. So you're doing laundry, eh? Yes, what is it to you? Nice day for it. I suppose it is. Do you know any way to remove bloodstains? Bloodstains, is it? Well, the soap I use can clean almost any stain. Really? That sounds like the thing I need. Can I use some? No, I don't have very much soap left, and I still have lots to get clean. Alright, can you tell me where I can buy some? You can't. I made it my own secret recipe. Could you be less helpful? If you know a way, just tell me. I'll give it a try. Okay. So I'm going to drop my coins because I don't need them anymore. I'm going to right click and search the laundry basket to steal bar of soap. Option 1, steal the soap. Perfect. So now that you have the soap and the bucket of water, you can right click and use the tugged soap on the bloodied clothing. You give the top a good scrub and rinse away the bloody suds with water. Perfect. So now the Mourner top's good and the Mourner trousers were fixed. Alright, so you could drop the soap and you could drop the bucket now. And I'm going to teleport to West Ardoon. I'm going to run to the northeastmost building in West Ardoon. How exciting. I get to learn a little bit more of the story for this area. Alright, so this is the northeastmost building. It's the Mourner's hideout. So I'm going to equip all the Mourner clothing. Alright, so in the northeastmost building, you're just going to equip all the Mourner clothing, which includes all of these items. And then you can open the door. So I'm going to climb down the trapdoor to the northwest. And I'm going to go talk to Esilt in the southeast corner. So here's Esilt. Hello, I take it you're one of the new recruits. Well, I'm Esilt. I'm the charge here. Now come on, let us have a look around your paperwork. You hand over the letter of recommendation. This seems to be all in order. Welcome to the Death Guard. Now for your first assignment. As you may know, part of what we do here is keep the people believing in the plague. Why? Did they not tell you? I better fill you in. Well, as you undoubtedly know, we are sent here by Lord Iorwerth to secure the city. The reason for this is so that we can access the caves below. What's important about the caves? I'm afraid that information is classified until you prove your commitment to the Death Guard. Oh, fair enough. Now, to keep our presence in the city secret, Lord Iorwerth arranged an alliance with King Lathis, the ruler in the east. Apparently, the fool thinks we will help him dispose of the Knights of Camelot once our work here is done. I expect he'll be disappointed. Anyway, the plague serves two purposes. First, it allows us to move around the city in secret thanks to our Mourner disguises. Secondly, it means we can abduct citizens to mine the caves below with ease. We just pretend they've fallen victim to the plague. Does anyone suspect the truth? Well, we have a few near misses. Recently, we had some girl from East Ardoon poking around asking too many questions, so we locked her up while we decided what to do with her. Annoyingly, she managed to escape with the help of some adventurer. Lucky for us, they were so stupid that we managed to use the adventurer to deal with King Tyrus. It all worked out quite well in the end. Things like that is why we must ensure that people keep believing in the plague, though. One of the things we do to keep up with the lies is to fool old farmer Bronte into believing his sheep are infected. The old halfwit thinks because his sheep are an abnormal color that they are all ill with plague. It's amazing what a bit of dye can do. You dyed them? Well, don't think they ended up with those ridiculous colors naturally, do you? Anyway, shame of it that we have yet to find a way to stop the dye from washing out. So we need someone, that someone being you, to go and re-dye them. Simple enough. You want me to give a blue rinse to a load of old sheep? Not quite. For starters, the sheep need to be dyed red, yellow, green, and blue. But most importantly, is that you are not seen by doing this by anyone. Also, you need to re-dye them the colors that they already are, or the farmer may notice the change. That sounds a little more risky. How did you do it before? We have a pneumatic device that fires fat dye parcels ruptures on impact. Unfortunately, we have run out of the parcels and the device is broken. Can I take a look at it? Sure. We have a gnome inventor here too. Sadly, he is not being very helpful about fixing it. But you could talk to him if you like. Here's the key. He's in the next room, and here's the device as well. Bestial hands you a strange object and a tarnished key. Alright, perfect. Actually, I think this guy will be the screen cap for this. Alright, so let's run into the western room. There's a gnome tied up. Open up the door. Is that hilarious? I need to make it not full screen so I can take a screen cap. They gotta get the cheaters, man. Okay. Display full screen. This would totally be a clip. Like, hey, okay. Hey, welcome to Mourning's End Part 1 in Old School RuneScape. So in this quest, you have to work with the elves who disguise themselves as mourners. And obviously, you have to spray paint a few of the sheep certain dye colors. And you have to tickle the information of this gnome on a rack. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to right click and talk to the gnome and say option 3. Hello, will you help me fix this error thing? I'm not helping you fix that, as if it hasn't caused enough trouble as it is. Your friends have already tried every torture in the book. I'm not telling anyone squat. Have they tried stretching your eyelids yet? Yes, it didn't work. How about feeding you nail and prune stew? That's all I've been living on since I got here. Set fire to your nostril hair, let rabid rabbits nibble your toe, giving you a twisted arm? Yes, yes, and yes. I tried them all. Quite like the toad nibbling. Extracted your wisdom teeth? Us gnomes aren't wise, so we don't get them. Face it, you'll never put me in enough pain that I'll tell you what you want to know. I used to play gnome ball as a kid. This is a walk in the park in comparison. Alright, I get the picture. What will work then? Ha, you think I'm stupid enough to tell you that? I've been craving toad crunchies on that. I can't stand having my feet tickled. But you just told me. I did what I say. Option 3. You talked about toad crunchies and being tickled. Oops, I mean no, that must have been some other gnome. You're not fooling me, so help me in exchange for toad crunchies. If you think you could just buy cooperation, you're a bigger imbecile than I thought. You will tell me sooner or later. Alright, so I'm gonna right click and use the feather on the gnome. You dangle the toad crunchies above the gnome's nose just out of reach and hold the feather menacingly close to his feet. Now you would tell me, or I prefer if I tickle your feet. Alright, alright. I'm beaten. Bring me some soft leather and some magic logs and I'll see what I can do. I have all of that here. Well, let me get up off this rack and I'll get started. I can't do anything while I'm all tied up. Okay, so I'm going to right click and I'm going to release the gnome on a rack. What do you think you're doing? You're meant to be getting information, not making friends. I need to let him up if he's to fix this device. Okay, but without the proper paperwork, he stays in this room. You release the gnome and hand him the magic gloves, soft leather and strained device along with some toad crunchies. Right. Here you go. Now, leave me to eat my crunchies in peace. The gnome gives you a fixed device. Cool. Alright, so yeah. I'm just gonna teleport to Feldup Hills. And I'm gonna go to the ogres. I'm gonna run all the way up here. To the northeast. You could take the glider, but if you happen to do it, one small favor quest. But odds are that you didn't. Odds are that you never played Perilous Moon's Quest. But regardless. Alright, so let's enter the cave entrance to the northeast in Feldup Hills from Big Chompy Bird Hunting. We're going to unlock the locked ogre's chest just to get another ogre bellow, and we're going to use it on the frogs. at the swamp. So take 1. And let's head southwest of the swamp. So to do it, you're going to right click, use the red dye on the ogre bellows. And then you're going to right click and use the red bellows on the frog. Perfect. Let's do that again. And you do it with each of the dyes. Try blue. I just gotta be extra careful on my green, because I only have 1 for the sheep. Where? Okay, nice. Okay, and I have 2 red, 2 yellow, 2 blue, and only 1 green toad. Okay. A lot of pressure wavering. It's like okay. All right. Alright, so after you get all these toads different colors, you're gonna use your skills necklace and head over to the fishing guild. You're gonna use the yellow toad on your fixed device. You're gonna equip the fixed device, change your stance to aim and fire, and you're just gonna look around for a sheep. Alright. So once you have the sheep in sight, you're gonna essentially just press this middle button when it's standing still. by staying over here. There we go. Alright, so you want to just aim directly at the sheep. Perfect. Oh, you have to click the arrow, like where the triangle is, or else it doesn't move. You already dyed the yellow sheep. Perfect. So you need to do that with each of the colors. Let's go to the green ones over here. I'm going to use the green one on the fixed device. So unequip it and use the green one on the fixed device. Equip it. Change your stance. So if you can't move the arrows, you just need to make sure you're clicking the triangle parts of it. Nice, I already dyed the green sheep. First try. Alright, let's go down here. And you basically just stand near them. There's an unequip your thing, and then these are red, so they use the red on the fixed device. Equip that. Aim and fire. Make sure you click like the triangle portions, and then you just have to get it in sight. The triangle portions of the arrows. Perfect. And shoot the respective color. Unequip it again. And let's use the blue one on the device. Run all the way to the northwest. So it's yellow, green, blue, and whatever. And then here's the last one. So it was yellow, whatever. The sheep are here, 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 and here. You should know that because you did the quest. So let's shoot the last one. Alright, perfect. I already died all 4 of them. So now I can release the extra frogs. Okay. Tele to West Ardoon. Alright, so let's go to West Ardoon. So I'm going to go to the northeastmost building and pick up a rotten apple. Outside. Alright, so west of that building, you could pick up a rotten apple. West of the Mourner building. Alright, perfect. Alright, so let's go talk to Isilt. So I'm going to enter the Mourning building, go down this northwest trapdoor, and run to the southeast and talk to Isilwit again. Climb down trapdoor. Have you finished with those sheep yet? Yes, it is done. What is next? It is good to see your enthusiasm. I was going to get one of the others to do this job, but as you were here, it has been quite a while since anyone got ill from the plague, so I'd like to see to it that people do. But the plague doesn't exist. How am I meant to do that? We have never tried this before, but some joker put something in our food not too long ago that gave us symptoms akin to those of the plague. If you could find out what it was while we were poisoned with, you could reproduce the effects. If done right, the poison should not be fatal and should help restock our dwindling supply of cheap labor. We can then have the infected citizens removed and sent into the mines. Distribution should be easy enough. Because of the city walls, no one can grow their own food. Instead, all the food here comes from one of 3 supply points. Let me get this clear. You want me to find out who poisoned you, find out what they poisoned you with, find out how to make that poison, and then produce enough poison to affect a lot of people. Don't forget the part where you use the poison to contaminate the food supply. 2 of 3 supply points should be enough. How am I meant to do all of that? You seem resourceful, so I'm sure you will come up with something. I would help you out, but I'm not a biologist. Luckily for me, I know a biologist nearby. Someone trustworthy, I hope. Oh yes, definitely. Very well, perform this task and then return to me. Alright, so after talking with Isilt, I'm gonna go to the fishing guild. So I'm gonna right click and go to the fishing guild. And I'm gonna run southwest of the bridge. And talk to Alina in the first house on the east. So southwest of the fishing guild, you run southwest, you cross this bridge, and you're going to enter Ardoon and talk to Alina. The first building east once you enter. Alright, let's talk to Alina. First house across that bridge. Hello again, Alina. How dare you enter my house, Mourner? Get out. Alina, it's me, Wall Street Bets. Wall Street Bets? I didn't recognize you in all that Mourner gear. It's a long story. Well, I'm not going anywhere. It all started when I confronted the king. He admitted the plague is a hoax. Did he say why? He did. Turns out he was lying to me, though. Lying? About what? About his loyalty. His loyalty? What's going on? Well, I'll start. When we found out that the plague was a hoax, when I confronted the king, he told me that he faked the plague to keep everyone safe from his brother, King Tyrus. He said that Tyrus was taken by the Dark Lord. While exploring the lands to the west, he claimed that the Dark Lord corrupted him by forcing him to drink from the chalice of eternity. But was that a lie? Indeed, but I didn't find out until much later. On the king's orders, I traveled through the underground pass and into the western lands of Tyrionwen. Once there, I met up with Lord Iworth, the leader of some elves that had allied with the king. He helped me kill King Tyrus. That was when I discovered the truth. While returning to King Lathis, I was confronted by an elf named Arianwen, the leader of a group of rebels elves opposing Lord Iworth. At the time, I was carrying a letter from Lord Iworth to King Lathis. Arianwen magically broke the seal on the letter so I could read it. What did it say? It revealed that it's actually King Lathis and Lord Iworth who serve the Dark Lord. According to the letter, King Lathis wants to reclaim Camelot from King Arthur and believes the Dark Lord can help him. And Lord Iworth? I'm not exactly sure yet. West Ardoon seems to be key to his plans though. I met with Arianwen, who revealed to me that the Mourners are actually elves in service to Lord Iworth. I've infiltrated the Mourners and I'm trying to work out what they're doing. From what I've learned so far, there's something important to them in the caves below West Ardoon. I'm currently working with them to earn their trust. Hopefully they'll reveal the plans to me soon. I see. That's quite the reveal. If you need anything, ask me. Well, I was hoping you could help me with something. What's the problem? I've been asked to produce a poison based on rotten apples. I doubt any poison based solely on apples, rotten or not, would be effective. Well, I put a rotten apple in the Mourner stew. I'm told that the effect was much like the symptoms of the plague. That sounds like they were just ill from some sort of toxin. Imagine it was a mold of some sort that had the effect, not the rotten apple itself. What do you need it for? I need to poison a large food supply in order to get the Mourners' trust. That's awful. I can't help you with that. If I don't gain the trust of the Mourners, then the people of West Ardoon... No music in the game? We'll have much worse time than the effects of the toxin. Alina, trust me. You better be right about this, and I better make sure you get the toxin. Bring me the sample of rotten apple to examine. I'll also see if I can make a counteract for the toxin. I have one right here. You hand Alina the rotten apple. Ick. Alright then, let's get started. Alina, run some tests on the apple. Right, let's see. Okay, I managed to isolate a small sample of the toxin. It's a byproduct of the mold that grows on these apples. It's not fatal, so counteracting shouldn't be necessary. How big is the store that you're going to affect? Well, I was instructed to contaminate 2 of the 3 supply points in West Ardoon. That's over half the food supply in the city. You're going to need a huge amount of the toxin to do that. You're also going to need to refine it too, or people will notice rotten apples in amongst the food. This is starting to sound a little tricky. Can't you make it for me? I would, but I don't have the right equipment here to do anything in bulk. Alright then. Tell me the process and I'll get started. Right then, the first thing to do is mash up a lot of the rotten apples, then you'll need to dissolve the toxin into a liquid that has a very low evaporation point, some form of solvent. I don't know about much of those kinds of chemicals, but I believe naphtha would be perfect for this. Ah yes, I've worked with naphtha before. The chemist in Remington helped me make it from coal tar. Perfect, well get yourself some naphtha and some rotten apples, mix them together. Once you've done that, strain out any solids. Finally, oh she gave me, no she didn't. Make sure to evaporate off the solvent. Be careful of naked flames as the solvent will be highly flammable. And that's all it is. Why isn't anything ever easy? Sorry, I never meant to say it would be simple. Here, you'll need this to strain out the solids. Alina hands you a large sieve. You may want to check out the orchard just north of the city. I heard no one has tended to it since the blight infected trees there. I imagine I'll have plenty of rotten apples. Cool. Alright, so after talking to Alina, I need to teleport to the outpost. And I need to run northeast to the apple tree orchard. In this gate. Okay. Let's see what else I need to do. Okay. So I took that red barrel, which was a red dot in the apple orchard, and I'm gonna use the barrel on the pile of rotten apple pile north of it. You scoop a barrel of rotten apples. Okay, so I'm gonna right click and use the rotten apples on the apple press, not on the apple tap. Perfect. You use the apple press to crush your rotten apples. Nice. Hilarious. Okay. Okay. So now that I did that, now that I have an apple barrel, I'm gonna go to any bank and withdraw. Dinner's ready. Dinner's ready. Okay, bye. Alright, so I'm gonna go to any bank and I'm gonna withdraw my barrel of naphtha. Which I made. During, I think, regicide. Okay. So I'm gonna use the barrel of apple mush on the barrel of naphtha to get naphtha apple mix. Alright. So now that I have a naphtha apple mix, I'm gonna teleport to West Ardoon. I'm gonna run to the Mourner's hideout in the northeast. Okay, so I'm gonna use the sieve on the naphtha apple mix. You sieve the solids out of the mixture, and I made toxic naphtha. I'm gonna right click and use the toxic naphtha on the range. And in order to get the toxic naphtha, use the sieve on the naphtha apple mix. So let's use this on the range. You evaporate the fluid you sent with some powdery residue. Nice. So I'm just like sprinkling old school RuneScape toxic powder on their food supply. Alright, so I'm going to teleport to West Ardoon. And I'm going to run to the northeast house at the pavement right over here. From that quiz. Flake City, I think. So enter here. And I'm going to use it on the grain sacks to the west. So I'm going to right click and use the toxic powder on the grain sacks here. Perfect. And now I'm going to teleport to West Ardoon. And I'm going to use it on the southwest corner on these grain sacks near the general store. And you could kind of like correlate this with like Shades of Morton or the Vampire Myri quest series, or like all the other quests in the game. Alright, so let's use that on that. Perfect. Alright, so now we're basically done. And now I'm going to teleport to West Ardoon. Let's go back to Isilt one more time, and then we're going to teleport with the Crystal Seed to Letya to finish the quest. That was pretty easy. And like they have zombies here, they have zombies in Shadow Village. So you could be like, oh, is that like how they became zombies? And how they're so distant. It's like different storylines. And then RuneScape 3 has different storylines as well. So it all like is always a story. Alright, so let's talk to Assault. You're back already. How's the epidemic going? The epidemic? Oh, you mean the poisoning? Thought all was a brick. Yes, that. How's it going? It's all done. This is good news. Give it a few days and the slave pens will be full again. So I approve my commitment now. Yes, I think you have. I guess you want to know what we're doing in the mines. Yes, please. A long time ago, Saren herself ordered the construction of a great temple deep beneath the earth. This temple guards a great power, one that is key to our plans. We believe the temple lies beneath the city. That is why we are here. Unfortunately, progress has been slower than we'd have liked. The slaves accidentally mined in some old caverns infested with beasts. They have caused significant issues. I see, but how close are we to finding it? It shouldn't be long now. We have started to see signs that we are near. Anyway, now that you know about the temple, I have a new task for you to perform, deep within the mines. Alas, one of the guards has taken the key to the mines to be copied. Report in regularly, and I'll see that you get a copy as soon as he gets back. Will do. Now be on your way. I have other things to attend to. I should probably report this to Arianwin. What was that? Oh, nothing. Fair enough. So let's teleport to Letya with the teleport crystal. And I'm going to run to the east and talk to Arianwin to finish off the quest. How goes it, Wall Street Bets? I think I have the information you're after. It seems that Ireworth elves are searching for an ancient temple of some deep beneath West Ardoon. Temple? That must be the Temple of Light. Temple of Light? What's the Temple of Light? It is built by Saren herself to guard a dark and ancient power. This is not good, friend. I fear Lord Ireworth intends to use that power to summon the Dark Lord. I don't think they found the temple yet, but they know it's down there. Well, then we have time. Thank you for your help so far. We would never discover this without you. Now we must prepare what comes next. Nice. I could beat the quest. Logging off. I beat the quest.